With Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla proving to be both critically and financially more successful than many of the preceding films, it only made sense to the higher-ups at Toho to keep the series going in this direction. Seeing this as an opportunity to return Godzilla to his glory years, it was decided to verge away from the light and campy tone that had defied the franchise for so long in favor of a more classical and serious approach. To this end, Ishiro Honda was brought back to direct a direct sequel, Terror of Mechagodzilla, the film that, despite all this, ended up being the final installment in the first era of Godzilla films. As Interpol searches for the remains of Mechagodzilla, they are attacked by an aquatic dinosaur called Titanosaurus. The encounter puts them on the trail of the mysterious Dr. Mafune, a mad scientist with a grudge against mankind who owes the life of his daughter Katsura to the simians, who have turned her into a cyborg and are repairing Mechagodzilla for a second attempt at conquering Earth. Under the control of a conflicted Katsura, Titanosaurus and Mechagodzilla attack Tokyo, leaving Godzilla to face off against them all on his own. From the very first frame, it is apparent that Terror of Mechagodzilla is a different breed of film compared to its immediate predecessor. While Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla was fast, frantic, and colorful, this film is slow, brooding, and dark. It still relies on the tried and true alien invasion plot, but without the increasingly goofy and simplistic characters, storylines, and monsters that had been devolving the franchise for so long. While still engaging in the over-the-top monster mayhem you come to expect from the franchise at this point, it attempts to tell a more somber, serious tale of star-crossed lovers and embittered old men. I say attempt because its reach far exceeds its grasp. Katsura! Indeed, Terror of Mechagodzilla never feels like it ever fulfills its potential. The story in concept is actually quite compelling, and there are themes and ideas that, had they been fleshed out, would have made for an enthralling story. But alas, it all feels crammed into a short, by even Godzilla standards, 80-minute runtime. And because of this, the drama at the center never manifests into anything beyond the shallow and conventional. Add on top of that the slow, methodical pace, and you have a Godzilla movie that feels a bit drab.
Katsura-san. 僕はきっと博士の研究を完成してみせますよ。きっと。
The characters are certainly a step up from prior entries, and there is some emotional complexity going on, but the film isn't deep enough to go beyond the surface level. Akihiko Hirata returns once again playing a scientist, though this time he really gets to ham it up as Dr. Mafune. The most compelling character, though, is his daughter Katsura, played by Tomoko, a cyborg split between her loyalty to her father and her sympathy towards mankind. This feeling is embodied by her affection for Akira Ichinose, played by returning actor Katsuhiko Sasaki, a biologist researching Titanosaurus who can't help but be drawn to Katsura's beauty. The core of an engaging love story is there, but almost no time is given to its development, thus leaving you feeling cold. However, this cannot be said for anything involving the monsters. While Terror of Mechagodzilla may be slow going, when the kaiju show up to do their thing, they do so with gusto. The scene where Titanosaurus and Mechagodzilla rampage through Tokyo, while brief, is spectacular, and the subsequent battle with Godzilla is explosively entertaining. There are moments of awe-inspiring pyrotechnics on display that really make you appreciate the craftsmanship that went into making these movies. It's one of the best action scenes of the Showa era. And there's no denying that Terror of Mechagodzilla benefits from the return of both Ishiro Honda and Akira Ifukube. While perhaps not as sharp as his previous works, Honda's direction makes the film feel like a classic golden era Godzilla film. And Ifukube's score, which is less bombastic than many of his previous scores, suits the dark, brooding nature of the story. The new monster Titanosaurus also feels like a return to the past, a creature lacking the flashiness of Megalon or Gigan. While maybe not the most memorable kaiju, his simple design, distinct roar, and sympathetic nature arguably make him one of the most underrated. Terror of Mechagodzilla should be admired for its ambition to return Godzilla to the more thought-provoking filmmaking that defined the earlier entries, but it is never able to escape the tropes and formulas that had been defining the franchise throughout the 70s. Because of this, it never excels at being either type of film. It is a film caught between two eras, a final attempt to bring Godzilla back from the brink of irrelevancy, and consequently it failed, performing so poorly at the box office that Toho finally threw in the towel, putting Godzilla in hibernation until the time was right to bring him him back. At the very least, however, the film sends Godzilla out with a bang, as the final third features some of the best kaiju action of the series, thus giving the classic era of Godzilla the joyous send-off it deserves. For more reviews and opinions on all things Godzilla, subscribe and stay tuned to Up From the Depths.